Firstly, I'm going to talk about how you think about the market, and then I'm going to explain why saturation doesn't exist and only you are misunderstanding it. Because most likely you had one of these experiences, and I just explained the one. And why just only one? Because this is the one that the most people experience. Like sending 100 DMs on IG and not getting a client. Then you're like, yeah, bro, the market is just saturated. Just stop the cap right here. Now, of course, this is not the only experience you can have where you think the market is saturated. For example, what happened with me is that I was creating YouTube videos every single day. None of them were getting good results. I was like, no, man, just the market is just done, bro, the bond. But I know that that's just BS. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why. So, any kind of thoughts or any kind of experience you had where you had the result of, yeah, the market is saturated, this is why it's not true. And this is what we call a bell graph. The bell graph simply explains the diversification of the people around a certain topic which can be measured. For example, if you take at a bell graph which explains the IQ, it shows the similar graph where this is 0 IQ and this is 150 IQ, the actual diversification of the people is going to be like, well, not a lot of people are going to be here, but around the 100 is going to peak. That is where most people are. And then from there, we go down again to 1 to almost 0. Now, with this graph, how could I possibly explain that saturation doesn't exist? Well, because I have worked with 2 million follower personal brands, I know for a fact that saturation doesn't exist. And this is why. Because how people diversify through the market is that their expertise is usually just average and normal. And right there, when your knowledge and expertise is just normal, you're going to be literally saturated. I was a video editor when I started being online business, and I started working with a 2 million follower personal brand, then again a new 2 million follower personal brand. They all explained to me how they cannot find a good editor who is reliable, who actually understands their stuff. So that explains correctly how it's not about the saturation right here, but the lack of expertise. And why I say this is because right here, if you are here, you have much better expertise, you will get clients easily because people do need it. People do need expert people about their specific skill. And the thing is that no one is really that good, so people want to hire them. And what that also means right now at this current moment is that if you want to get more clients, you have to be better at what you're doing because then it will be just much easier to get clients because saturation doesn't exist if you're really an expert. And just let me explain a different example. Like if we are talking about the MBA and the MBA skills, and right here there is a 0 and there is, 100. Now, what you can see is in the similar fashion, people are going to be saturated right here in the MBA as well. But when you come to this point where it's like LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they are going to be so good that they are not saturated. There is no saturation at the mountain top, Important to understand that your problem is not saturation, it's a lack of expertise. Because I know for a fact that whatever skill you have, you're not as good as you think, and that's why you're not getting clients. Because if you would be so good, people would want to work with you. In a similar fashion, in the NBA, you only hear about these types of people and never hear about these types of people unless you're an NBA geek who just wants to know everything about every single person. With that said, if you truly believe that saturation still exists, that I cannot help you because as I'm showing you with this graph, it perfectly explains why saturation doesn't exist, only lack of skills. And if you want to get more clients, if you want to leave from this saturation point, you just have to become better. That's all. But there is a problem again. Because why do you actually have these kind of thoughts or these experiences which you concluded thought that the market is saturated? And I want to explain this why, because this is much more important than why saturation is or doesn't exist. If these ideas are also similar, like let's say cold outreach doesn't work, or my niche is saturated, or the market is saturated, or just let's say this business model is wrong, or something is not for me, or this stopped working, or blah, blah, blah. If these thoughts are just similar to you, and they are familiar to you. That means that you have a much bigger problem than just explaining or understanding whether saturation exists or not, do not exist. And that's why I want to spend the rest of this video explaining exactly what is this problem and how can you finally solve this. Because to be completely honest with you, when you're trying to build your own business, want to make money online, whatever it is, you shouldn't have these kinds of thoughts because they are, pulling you back, and it's much harder to get real results when your mind and your body is just sabotaging you with these kinds of thoughts and these kinds of ideas. So that's why I want to explain why these thoughts even exist at the first place. Now, first things first, there is your mind. Your mind gives you these ideas like, yeah, Robert, just this market is saturated and blah, blah, blah. But what that means is that if there is your mind, then that equals to your conscious. Your mind equals to your conscious mind. It's the same thing. But what does that mean? Well, if you have your conscious mind, there must be a subconscious mind as well. And why this is really important? Because your subconscious mind and your conscious mind act together like in a symbiotic form. What kind of experiences you've had, your subconscious mind stores it, and later on, your subconscious mind gives you new ideas back to your conscious mind in order for you to deal with them. For example, most likely the idea that the market is saturated is not about the market is actually being saturated, but it's a problem of your subconscious mind because when you were a child, your subconscious mind stored an experience where you have tried something to do and you just failed horribly and you were ashamed and blah, blah, blah. And your subconscious mind stored that. And right now, when you're trying to do, again, cold outreach, YouTube and blah, 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 whatever it is, and you want to get clients, your subconscious mind give you these ideas. Hey, no, the market is saturated, don't do this, because your subconscious mind is afraid getting to experience again these fears and wrong experiences. And that's why in your conscious mind these thoughts exist, because it's manifested through your subconscious. And this is what is really, really important. And until you don't understand this, you're never going to be able to fix these negative problems or the negative thoughts or this really just these draining ideas, which are really just draining your energy. Now the question becomes, why does your subconscious mind do it when you want to change? When you do not want to do your DMs, or when you don't want to record the video, why isn't it telling you that, yeah, Robert, the market is saturated? Only when you want to act and you want to change your life and your current environment, that's when your subconscious mind starts giving you these ideas. Why is that actually? And this is what we have to came down to: survival mechanism. Now, this is a bit long, but let me explain what is this. So firstly, if you want to reach your goal, right? Like you right now have a goal that you want to reach 10K, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 20, 150, 200, whatever money goal that you have. You want to reach that specific goal. And that's right. But you do not reach your goal. You are unable to reach your goal, because if you would be able to reach your goal, you would have already done it. So what you need to do is become a new person in order for you to reach your goals. This is what Charlie Morgan said. We do not reach our goals. We become the type of person who can. And that's what you need to do. You have to become a new type of person in order for you to actually reach your goal. Okay? So if you have to reach your goal, like you have to, get there, you have to become this new type of person, there is something that you must take into account, is that there is 4 steps right here. If you want to make XYZ amounts of money, what needs to happen is that you have to start the right cause and effect relationships. So meaning that right now who you are, you have to put the right causes to effect, meaning the right actions you need to take, which will later down the line will get you those kinds of results which you want. But until you could actually do these kinds of results or do these kinds of actions, is that you need to have a mind that allows you to put those cause and effect relationships in place. Meaning that your mind needs to allow you to take the right kind of actions, which will later on get you those results. But until your mind could allow you to do that, your subconscious or unconscious must allow you to operate correctly. And why this is important, and why I have told you somewhat again what I already talked about, is because if you have to become the new type of person and you have to take the right action it's never going to be about you actually taking the right action right now. It's going to be about firstly changing your unconscious, subconscious, which will later down the line allow you to get those results because you have been able to do the right cause and effect relationships. You have been able to do the right actions, which will later down the line get you the results. So, what that really means is that you do not have to change who you are, you have to change what your unconscious or subconscious mind is. And why this is important is because if you need to change your subconscious and if you have to become a new type of person completely, what that really means is that you need to kill your own subconscious. Really, you need to kill your own subconscious. And this is where the survival mechanism comes. Because, look, if you have to become from an old you to a new you completely have to change who you are in order for you to reach your goals. And your subconscious must be changed. What will that result in is that your subconscious mind will do anything to be alive. Because this is subconscious mind number one, and this is subconscious mind number two. And this is the person you want to be because you want to reach your goal. And to change to subconscious number two, you need to completely kill every single part of the current subconscious mind that you have. And what that will lead to is that your subconscious will do anything to remain alive. Negative thoughts, useless ideas, binge watching, binge eating, not sleeping correctly, not taking your routine, blah, blah, blah. Every single negative thing right now, which takes you away from reaching your goal, is due to your subconscious who doesn't want you to reach your goal because it wants to be alive. Okay? This is very important. The only reason you haven't reached your goal is because your subconscious mind didn't allow you to take the right actions. And if you have to take the right actions, you need to kill your subconscious mind that exists right now. And that's all. And that's why you have these thoughts. Only reason you have these thoughts of blah blah blah, it's not going to work out, and yo, this is useless, don't do this. Oh, I have to just binge watch some content because I'm tired or something like that, is because your subconscious mind wants to be or wants to remain alive. That's the only reason. Only reason. Nothing else. So I hope this been a very good explanation for you and you understand everything that you need to know. With that said, guys, understand if you want to become a new type of person, you have to kill the one that's in your mind right now. So yeah, see you later.